Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Defiant Spur and I'm bringing you my review of this beastie, the WZ111 GFT Chinese Tier 9 tank destroyer. Because I've only just got this tank, I'm going to be changing up the format of my tank review slightly. Don't worry, it's still going to suck and be really painful to watch, but now it's going to be spread out over two parts. The first part is going to have my first 5 games with this tank in the stock configuration, and then once I've got it to top package, then you'll get the rest of it. As before, it's going to be a 75% trained crew, no equipment and no premium consumables. I mean, I have to say, I've really enjoyed this tank destroyer line. Certainly the Tier 7 and Tier 8 tanks are real gems in the rough. Tier 6 was okay, and the ones before that, yeah, I wasn't too keen on. And this tank has performed a lot better than I thought it was going to, especially stock and at Tier 9. But yeah, it's a good solid tank so far from what I can see. As you can see, stock, it'll come with the 130mm gun, which you got in the previous tank. It's got good alpha, rate of fire's a bit meh, but it's what do you expect? You've got to balance it out somewhere. It's got good pen. The accuracy on it surprised me. It hits what it's pointing at the majority of the time, which I generally don't expect with the big guns, especially on tanks like this. And another thing is you don't notice the slow aiming time. I know back with the French autoloader you really noticed that aiming time. You'd be hanging around there for what felt like weeks waiting for your tank to zero in the reticule so you could take a shot. But no, it's stock, it's comfortable, it's a comfortable tank. I think it's got around about 6 degrees of gun depression, which is pretty paff. I just made that up. I might have just made that up. We can pretend. We can always edit that out later, I suppose, if I can be bothered. But yeah, let's get into the first gameplay. Here we are on El Alamein. Now, I had no real idea of the capabilities of this tank, so I thought best thing to do, head for the circle. The reds are going to converge out at some point, and I can see what this tank can do. As you can see, a little bit sluggish, and yeah, I was surprised to notice that the gun doesn't traverse very well to the right, which yeah, rather confused me because looking at the tank with the gun being mounted on the right hand side, you would have thought it wouldn't be able to traverse towards the left as well. Oh, I don't know, maybe there's a crew member in the way or something. Box of food. I make it to the circle in okay time. Already starting to lose reds to shoot at. Yeah, losing reds at quite a rate here. They didn't push on the circle as much as I was expecting. I mean, got a couple of good hits in. But yeah, there's a tortoise left. And tortoises can hit hard. I've tweaked the speed from here on in just because I spent a lot of this battle just wiggling around, not doing much. Which, to be honest, is my first game in this tank. I wasn't expecting to perform overly well. I honestly did not think I was going to take out that tank then. Just shows how accurate this gun can be. Here we have some not bad matchmaking, top tier, which is always nice. I'm a bit upset with this map. They've blocked off a nice little perching point off at, what's that, B3-ish. Yeah, normally you can just head over there and get a nice line of sight down over the beach and everything, but they seem to have blocked it off. As you can see, everybody's yellowing off in one direction at the moment, or dithering around. I'm not particularly helping. Wasn't too sure where to go, to be honest. Especially not first time on this map in this tank. It doesn't bleed too much speed going up the hill, but then it doesn't have much speed to lose in the first place. I'm still trying to get used to having no right gun traverse. That's really strange. I'm not too sure why it has it. I don't know if there's a crew member in the way or something. But if you look at the tank, because the gun's situated a little bit more on the right hand side, you kind of expect it to, if anything, have less left gun traverse. Maybe that's just me. Yeah, lack of equipment and poorly trained crew means it handles quite poorly. But I can get into a little spot here. I don't want to advance too much. No idea if I hit anything there. Let's see. Rate of fire. Yeah, the rate of fire feels like it's dragging here. And I'm detected. I usually don't go to this bit of the map. I'm normally on the other spawn, shooting at all the idiot TDs and heavy tanks who are just camping this little ridgeline here. So embarrassed that I missed that shot. Yeah, like I said, normally I'm over on the 0 line if I'm on this spawn or down on the beach. Hence my inexperience with some of the features here. I could have pushed a lot more aggressively, I think, but I was still quite unsure of just how reliable the armor on this thing is. And yeah, that Type 5 heavy, or Type 4 heavy, sorry, can really spoil your day if he slaps you. This big, giant, derpy pimp hand. Come on, no, don't run away, stay and die. Yay, nice hit. One bounce. I do like the addition of the damage counter and bounce counter in the corner there. See, in hindsight I should have just pushed straight down there now. Yeah, see, I think if I'd pushed maybe 30 seconds to a minute earlier, it would have been much more effective and saved this Green's life, because he's just about to get killed.
Target locked. Enemies looking right at us.
Unfortunately, as you can see, there's 2 DDs and a medium who are, I don't know, they're having some type of hand-holding session up the back there.
Locked and loaded.
Nice hit. You definitely felt that.
They've spotted us. The driver's been hit. Can't move very
Not
fast.
bad. T4 slapped me and I didn't blow up, so it's always good. Oh, now this bit's going to be painful to rewatch. I'm just kind of like dithered here, I wasn't too sure where to go. I should have just pushed. Because it's so awful at turning, I mean, this traverse is terrible stock, especially with a rubbish crew. I just wasn't too sure how well I could use these corners. And then I have scenery issues here. as everything was just lining up and stopping the tank. Again, lack of familiarity with this map in the town. The enemy TD gets a lovely hit on me in a second. He really threads the needle. Oh, right there. Solid hit. Yeah, I just didn't have the speed to capitalise on that medium tank's push. And again, see, I thought I could just roll straight over those tanks, but no. Apparently 2 million. Ah, here we go. Yeah. Nice one. I think here I should just push. I should have pushed forward again. My gameplay here is just far too hesitant. And usually I tend to be a bit too aggressive and die a lot. But yeah, this is just so painful to rewatch. It's like reversing. I feel sorry for the little medium tank because he's getting pommeled because I'm dithering right now. Don't get over there. Save your friend. Save your friend. At the very least, I like to think the other TD is distracted by me.
Now that's how you do it.
So yeah, pretty poor game overall. But yeah, still I managed to get a bit of damage out there. And you can certainly see the promise. A little bit more gun depression would have been handy at the top of the map. I think once you get like a gun rammer on here and some better optics, I think it'll be really dangerous. I'm expecting to be able to chuck out 3-4k damage games. Okay. So another team destruction. I get bored of team destructions. I decided I'd go push into the town, see if I can make the most use of my thick frontal armour. Yeah, maybe hug a couple of corners. I'm feeling a little bit more confident in the tank by now. Usually I wouldn't go into town at all, but I don't want to take a big target like this out into the open. Unfortunately, half the team decides to come over here as well. Now in hindsight, that wasn't actually that much of an issue. Obviously a lot of people out in the field complained as they got stomped quite heavily by the other Reds, but there was a sizable Red presence in the city, and I think we did well to take them out. But yeah, there's a lot of us lemminging over here. As you can tell by all of the chat markers on the right there, the lemming train in the town is a good topic of conversation. Usually I use the mic, but I wasn't feeling particularly talkative today. Now my plan here was to hope that the Reds haven't got anybody on the hills overlooking the city, and then push up and, well, smash the Reds in the side, really.
Look out, enemy spotted. Friendly vehicle destroyed.
Now, unfortunately for me, because so many of us have gone into the town, there's green tanks everywhere.
Enemies looking
Nice
right at
hard
us.
hit there.
Dropping target. She's loaded.
Something hits me quite hard in a second. Well, not him, obviously. I mean, see, at this point I'm just using snapshots.
Target locked.
Oh, if only I reloaded faster. Now, everybody else seems to have forgotten the fact that there's a red heavy at the back of the map here. But I wasn't prepared to leave my arse open to some extreme AP violation. So I decided to head off and take him out. Now, at this point, even though we're doing quite well, the guys in the field are still really angry with us. They said T29.
Enemies looking right at us.
I felt quite happy just moving in here and moving around. Ooh.
The track is damaged.
Let's see, where should I shoot you? Bam! Solid hit. Shaved off half his health. And see, it would have been nice if I used the replay system, so we could have seen what exactly he was failing to pen when he was shooting me.
Penetration.
Oh, a little mercy shot there. That annoyed me so much. Poor little tank. Oh, he hit my gun. Yeah, that saved his life. So, as you can see there, top tier, you can just stomp all over people. I generally find when the match gets to this stage, it's going to be quite rare that you're going to be able to get any extra kills, especially with this many greens left on the map, and an attack this slow.
Target locked.
No idea where that shell went. Probably hit the hill. I should have aimed it. So far on this map, the 6 degrees of gun depression, I checked, it is indeed 6 degrees. Hasn't been much of an issue.
Ready to fire on target.
Come on, come on, come on. Yes.
Enemy vehicle destroyed.
So I think with a little bit more speed and mobility from the speed package, yeah, I think this tank would be able to perform really quite well.
One of our tracks is damaged.
Now I've got so many hit points left over at this point, I just really don't care about that little tank and exposing my flanks. I think that is one of the reasons why it's so important to conserve your hit points during the game. Save them for the end game where you can use them the most effectively. When looking at this tank, the hatch on top of the turret is quite small,
That's how you do it.
so it limits the number of weak points on the top and the front of the tank. Yeah, another victory. Usually I find whenever I buy a new tank I get maybe one good game and then a string of bad games. But yeah, this was alright. I mean, 2,300 damage, only a 3rd class, but I blocked a good whack as well. And you know, I wasn't too far behind the top tier tanks, well, the top scoring tanks there. Another good selection of tanks here, not too bad. I like this map, although I have a big issue with this map, and that issue is roughly the little valley around about there, was like the ED line, wherever it is, where both red and green teams tend to get hung up, unless you've got somebody aggressive and clever enough who's wanting to push over and drag the rest of the team with them. Now, because I've been playing my charioteer a lot recently, I've been tending to go up here and up onto the ridge line, get a couple of shots up over the guys at the cap, or down along the 8 line when the reds advance along there, and then I can relocate wherever I want to. But I thought, new tank, I just want to get into combat as quickly as I can. And I figured there's always going to be a bit of a mosh up over here. It's not an ugly looking tank, I don't think. I think yeah, if I'm still enjoying it when I get the top package. Ooh, that was a big shot. If I'm still enjoying it when I get a top package, I think it might definitely end up being a permanent camo job. Now, Because at this point I realise just haven't got the manoeuvrability to effectively use this corner, not from the angle I've approached at, and not with the press of green tanks around me. So I just need to get over as quickly as possible, support our little E75 there.
Enemies looking right at us.
Something nasty bounced off of me. Now the Lycan, I'm moving up behind here, he's been using the mic as well, been chatting away in game, and generally I find it's better to follow somebody who's using a mic, especially if they're showing at least some common sense. So I thought I'd give them some covering fire. Also, by moving up here along the flank, I'm pretty sure the Reds know where I am, and hopefully I'll distract them from the oppressive greens in front of them, maybe pull some of the Reds away and allow the rest of my team to capitalise on the shift of the Red forces. Sadly that doesn't seem to happen. We're 2 up at the moment, or 1 up, sorry. But yeah, the Reds just look a lot more dynamic. And I hit his track, of course, because as we all know, light tank tranks are indestructible things which can stop any amount of damage. I think that's part of the game they really do need to look at. I'm sorry, a 130mm shell does not just mildly scratch your tracks. So, although I'm not actually causing much damage here or spotting or actually contributing much to the battle, I have managed to draw a Pershing away, and I'm hoping others are going to come along. See, nice shot there. See, the accuracy of the gun is really good.
Enemies got us in their sights. Ready to fire on target.
Is he coming back? He's coming back. Hit again.
A hole in their armor.
Yeah. Even with a little bit of bloom on the reticule, I was able to hit. And this is with the stock gun. I know the big gun's going to be a bit less accurate, but
Unlocking target.
yeah, where are you going? Where are you
Ready
going?
to fire.
Oh, yeah, that probably hit the ground. Anyways, at this point I looked up and realised that,
They've spotted us.
yeah, we're hemorrhaging greens. Not a good situation.
Releasing target.
So I needed to push. I needed to push quite hard. A heavy tank came to support me, which is great. But then we found where the enemy TDs were.
Friendly vehicle destroyed.
Again, lack of gun depression, such a pain. Any other tank, I think I would have been able to take a shot on that TD then. But you've got to expose so much of yourself. I wish I had some HE loaded for that shot.
Tracks up. Let's go.
Yeah, I should have reversed a bit more in a straight line, exposing an awful lot of the side of my tank there to 2 very hungry tank destroyers.
Ready to fire on target.
And this is basically where I failed the team. I spent the rest of the match just wiggling around this building, trying to lure this medium around so I can kill him and not get killed by the tank destroyers. The Reds have done very well in ignoring me. They're very determined. Could have done so much better. The steering wheel's moving out. Kill him.
Chalk up another one.
It's one of those situations where even though I am causing damage, I'm getting kills. They're not wanting to actually contributing to the main battle effort.
Reloading.
Ironically, I think if the other 2 tanks had dropped back to support the tank destroyer,
Vehicles destroyed.
this game might have gone slightly differently.
Ready to fire on target. Big
To be honest, with a cheese wedge-shaped tank like that, I've probably still a little chance of penning, even if I did hit.
Loaded and ready.
Now, the little medium, I believe, gets destroyed by the tank destroyer.
We're the last ones left.
I have no idea what their artillery's doing. I should check on the scoreboard, really.
They've spotted us. Target locked.
Good, hit, bam. This is where I die. I don't get a little bit more damage. Trundle, I don't care. And the artillery finds me. Not a great performance. And not just because we lost, but I think if I'd stayed at that corner with the rest of the tanks, it might have gone a bit differently. I mean, I blocked a good amount, caused a good amount. I mean, that Scorpion D, he had a good game. Right, I've included this one as this was the worst game I had by far. Yeah, I decided I'd go push into the town. The Reds almost you normally get a good number of Reds push down towards the town, or at least certainly in my experience you do. And I figured, with my limited gun traverse but thick armour, I'd be able to put up a good fight here, slow them down, allow our more mobile tanks to flank and do damage. Unfortunately, as you can see, a good number of Greens followed me. Normally that's a good thing. When you're desperately trying to kill Reds in a slow tank, it's not so useful, because I'm just following behind them all like a poor lonely tank destroyer with no friends, who nobody will let play with. We're doing relatively well at this point. I get a bit of damage in. The tank tries ramming me, which is very strange. I've got it on fast forward because it was so slow. Crossing a river. Yay, look at me, it's my friends. Can I play with you, friends? Oh, reload. No. Do I get another shot on him? I think I just bounce it. Or does somebody else destroy him? Oh, yeah, somebody else gets him. I get him tracked. Now, the rest of the match, I spent trading shots pointlessly with a T95, who decided to camp at their circle. I think overall we did relatively similar damage and contributed as much to the game as each other. I think if I'd had the bigger gun or a better crew or equipment, I would have possibly won this encounter. I mean, I knew I was going to die at this corner, and I did. I can't remember if it was Artie that got me in the end, but yeah, it's just lots of slow wiggling here. Which just goes to show that with these slow tanks, if you just go in the wrong direction, then you can throw the game. But this was the first time when the Reds I've seen where the Reds haven't gone into the town bit. Anyway, I'll upload part 2 once I've got to the top package. Please comment and subscribe, like or hate, whatever. It's all good. If you want me to upload any specific tank reviews or work on any lines, let me know. I'm always up for suggestions. Nobody as of yet has collected the bounty on me in game, so that's still running, so keep an eye out for me. Yeah, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you all later. Bye.